So in 2015, effective 2016 in California, there was a Senate Bill 277. It eliminated personal belief and religious exemptions for mandatory school vaccinations in California, unless they qualified for a medical exemption. 19 rolls along, and Senate Bill 276 was signed into law. This was in September. And there was a companion bill, Senate Bill 714, that tightened oversight on medical exemptions. Okay, so that little carrot just went away for school vaccinations by requiring them to be submitted through a state database and reviewed by the California Department of Public Health to, quote, prevent fraudulent or invalid exemptions. And there was an appeal process if your exemption was revoked. They grandfathered in some, but there were all these checkpoints too. And then if your doctor who wrote the exemption died, your exemption was null and void. Gosh, crazy. Okay. And this applied and still applies because it's still all in place. This applies to private schools, public schools, charter schools that meet on campus, and daycares. And they're checkpoints. So even if you're like, well, we got all of the vaccines through kindergarten, well, as soon as you meet the next checkpoint, if you're not fully up to date, your kid's out. So that's what we're living in California.
IMA promotes that a doctor-patient relationship is sacred and nobody, no government should be in between that. So for a state government to say, we'll look at what your doctor told you and we'll decide if it's valid or not, that is an erroneous thought right there. That is completely unethical and that has no business. That should have never passed in the first place. So we want to restore that doctor-patient relationship. And if I talk to you as my patient and I say, you shouldn't get this, that's the end. There's no further discussion on that. And that's the way it should be in California. So we need to do everything we can to overturn that.